Let's start with the basics. At CIS, we call it cyber hygiene. You're usually working off of, if you're working from home, a Wi-Fi. Oftentimes on the road, it's free Wi-Fis. Avoid those at all possible, free Wi-Fis, because that's where cyber criminals lurk. At home, make sure your own Wi-Fi system is locked down. That's a very simple process. There's lots of support out there from friends, colleagues, and others to be able to help you do that. Most intrusions occur through known vulnerabilities that are unpatched. And we tell any business, whether it's an individual or a big corporation, patching is the first line of defense. Keeping your systems and your networks up to date with patching will resolve most known vulnerabilities. That reduces sort of the playing field to what we call zero-day vulnerabilities, or intrusions or vulnerabilities that don't yet have a patch that's been produced by Microsoft or some of the other systems. But those are fewer and far between. The cyber criminals are going to go after the easy targets, which are the known vulnerabilities. So if your personal PC you're not updating on a regular basis and patching, you are leaving yourself vulnerable to malware and other forms of attack infecting your system. You can either spend a lot of time on the back end after a cyber criminal has been successful, and trust me, it will take a long time if credentials are stolen to go back and change all your passwords, change all your bank accounts, change your credit cards, if identities were stolen, to try and work through the plethora of challenges you have to doing that, as opposed to, build in the checks and the basic processes of hygiene. If you go to our site at CIS, or cisecurity.org, you'll find a wealth of information, I think, that'll help you as an individual agent or even a small business within the real estate market. Cyber criminals are looking to get quick access to personal credentials, and the real estate market provides that. There are lots of house listings that require some forms of personal identification on both the sales side, the seller side, as well as the purchasing side. So now you're dealing with a lot of personal information and credentials that are very lucrative targets. But you can't draw a line and say, I've protected my Wi-Fi, I've taken these steps, I feel safe now, and sort of stop patching or doing other things that keep current with the latest technologies, because the threats will grow in sophistication the same way people have robbed houses and other businesses sort of in the traditional way of theft. The more security systems that are put in place, it's a great line of defense. But criminals will find some form or some way of trying to find a vulnerability and exploit it. Social media is an enormous opportunity for exploitation. And understanding how you use social media as an agent is really critical, with who, both for your physical protection, but as well as the protection of personal information and credentials and other things that can be exploited by criminals and hacktivists.